us right now, live in the studio. Give it up in the chat. Drop some emojis of your choice for the one and only Valley. How you guys doing?
What's up? So what's the meaning behind Walmart Fantano?
Yeah, I didn't cut my hair this week, but generally I'm rocking the like shaved head.
Okay.
And someone in like one of our first shows called me bald homie in the chat, and it has stuck more than we expected. And so yeah,
I love how you own it.
Yeah,
Amazing.
if I like look in the mirror, I realize I'm just doing like a Zane Lowe on 30%, you know?
That's sick.
So
I love
great.
that.
you know, it's like, Mom, can we have like Zane Lowe? No, we have Zane Lowe at home. And then, like, I'm Zane Lowe at home.
That's what I'm talking about.
I love it.
I was gonna say good afternoon. I'm talking to a band called Valley. I thought that would have been the better way to introduce it, but I fumbled
That's
it.
how we would like to be introduced from now on.
Yeah.
I love it.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
It's
And
so
it'll all
pleasant.
make
Evening.
sense.
It all
in
makes
a couple
sense.
months.
One
It
day.
will,
Nice.
it will all
One
make
day.
sense.
You guys have new music coming out tonight. It feels
Yeah.
like we're at the cusp, the start of a new era. It feels madly exciting. Tell me about like what headspace you guys are in, what
Yeah.
to expect tonight.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, it's been a crazy few months. I mean, when did we get off our last tour? We opened for Dermot Kennedy, and
I think it was we finished in early November, late October.
early November, late October. Yeah, that's when that was. And yeah, we were like working on music throughout that tour, and then we went through quite a few changes as a band, and kind of just took a few steps back to figure out what our next steps forward will be. And yeah, we just kind of got back into the studio fairly quickly, just to like make stuff and kind of talk about everything we're going through. And this is kind of the beginning of a new era for us, and a chapter that yeah, feels really special and intimate. And yeah, I'm just really excited to put out music again. I feel like it's actually happened faster than I think we thought it would
Much
happen.
faster.
So yeah, really excited when, you know, someone's a really special song, and it's the beginning of something much bigger, I think, than all of us at a point. So
That's amazing. It feels like, from what I've heard, it's like the right time as well too. Like even just, you know, the weather's getting warmer. I'm seeing the sun more, and I just already know this song's about to soundtrack, you know, my next few months.
yeah, that's kind of been the feedback from people we've been sending it to. Just friends and homies, they're just like, this song's so like, I just want to roll down my windows and like drive into like the next 3 months of my life, because it does have a very I don't know, it feels kind of classic Valley, but also has so much like it has that cinematic touch that I think we add to a lot of the way we produce music, and how we're kind of making the next era of stuff, of sound.
How'd this one come together? What's the story behind the song?
Oh man, when did we start the song? The song started in Nashville. We went away to Nashville to kind of write with our dear friend Chase Lawrence, who, if you guys know, he's in a band called Coin. They're amazing. We've been friends for a long time. And, you know, we always talked about making music. We toured together for a while, and it was always like, we should make music together. And then you don't talk for like weeks on end, because that's just how it goes. And then finally the stars aligned. We finished the tour. We were going through some changes. Of course, Mickey left the band, and we were just kind of figuring out, okay, like, what do we want to do next? And we know we wanted to keep going. And, you know, the next step was just, okay, let's just make music for fun again, and like not really put any pressure on it. So we FaceTime Chase, and we were like, yo, I think the stars are finally aligning. I feel like we're in similar places as like people. We're growing. Let's see what happens. And he's like, okay, let's just go to Nashville for 3 days and like mess around. And that started a whole relationship. And Chase just really kind of put us in a room and was like, hey, I just want to like make songs with you guys, and with no expectations. And I don't want you guys to have any ideas of like where this will go. This could mean nothing. We can make 50 songs and they go nowhere. We could put out 50 songs. There was no ceiling to how we were going to, you know, just make music together again, which I think in the past we've always kind of set boundaries to break. But this time it was so free flow. And yeah, he just invited us to Nashville. We wrote a bunch of songs, and then one day we wrote with this guy named Trent Dabbs, who's a close collaborator with Chase, and he's written like with Casey Musgraves and a bunch of like amazing artists. And he came into the room that day, and this song was kind of born from like a loop I had for a few weeks. I was just really into Bruce Springsteen. I was listening to a lot of like Nebraska.
Oh yeah,
just like such an underrated record. And I was just obsessed with this like pairing of sounds of like, I really heard like a melodica in my head. I've been hearing melodica in my head for weeks, and I just made this kind of like loop of just like this driving drum beat and this like melodica and this like sax distorted thing. And that kind of started this whole journey of this song. And then from there, Trent and Chase just kind of held our hand as we just kind of talked about a little bit of like a feeling that we were kind of going through, of just kind of like a little bit of abandonment and a little bit of like, what do we do now? Like there was this like kind of sucked out the room air feeling of like, where are we supposed to go? And it was just Chase and Trent kind of like speaking through us to be like, okay, well, I feel like we need to get this out of you first before we keep making music and keep moving forward with this era. And that's kind of when you know someone was born.
And it wasn't the first song, but it
wasn't the first song.
But it was one that maybe
stuck out,
and but also was kind of like the one that needed to be written so we could move forward. Maybe you know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, I think it was kind of that placeholder for us. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Kara, what sticks out to you about the song? What's your favorite part of it?
So the morning that we wrote the song, I was just like listening a lot to The Killers, and I really wanted to channel that because there's just like something, I don't even know, like I'm not like the biggest Killers fan even, but like I just like, if it catches you at the right moment or like the right strip of highway or the right like mood you're in, those songs just like hit so hard. And it was crazy because I was like, I want to write a song like Human, you know, and like something that not even like, I didn't even sound like that, just the same feeling.
Yeah, the visceral kind of energy.
Yeah, like full body, like chills almost. And when we got to the studio that day, Trent had sort of, him and Chase would like sidebar about like our life and they would like text, and like I saw all the texts like talking about like, oh yeah, they're like really not in a great mood today, or like they're feeling a little down today, like just like honestly,
how are you
like,
seeing these texts?
Just like he showed me
like side-eyeing.
he literally like Trent was just like scrolling through and I'm just like reading them as I go. I'm like, you guys are talking about us a lot here, but
it's like someone's doing a study on Valley.
I know.
Wow.
I was like
Almost.
Analyze me, but no, they were just like, so like they were talking about it because they were Trent was trying to understand because we hadn't know him, like we didn't have a relationship with him before this, so he wrote the lyrics like when you know someone, you think you know someone, and I just like literally jumped out of my seat because I was like, I don't even know, it's the way he sung it was like, it felt like what I was trying to channel with what I had heard, you know, listening to The Killers, and I was like, oh, this is just like the feeling that I was looking for. And then, you know, we took Rob's loop, whatever, and then the song just like really, it just came together. It was one of those songs that just came together. It was, and it really was so fun to make. I hadn't had fun making music for a long time. But like Rob said, like it was we had hit such a rock bottom, like just like mentally, that there was no expectations. Like I don't even care. It didn't matter what we made. It was just making, you know. So yeah,
and it's the fun. It's like it's a quite serious song. Like it takes itself pretty seriously, but the fact that we had fun making it, I think also showed us that we can like grieve and still enjoy the process. Because like at the end of the day, what we do is like we're really grateful for what we get to do every day. But you know, we're also, you know, we were at a point of grieving in a way. So it was this weird polarization of like we're enjoying what we're doing, but because it's getting us through, you know, a lot of walls that kind of came up the last year. So yeah, it's like it's such a weird feeling, but it's also so gratifying, and like I'm grateful for it because that's part of the process, I guess. But
I think that energy is like so clear, and that clarity in the music you're making, the way that you're sharing it right now. There's a Jack Antonoff quote where he talks about, you know, for Bleachers wanting to make music where, you know, you go to the show, you dance live, you have the most amazing time, and then on the drive home you realize what the songs are about and start to cry.
I love that.
And
he's had some amazing quotes this year, by the way.
Yeah, he just bars out.
Like, man, did you hear his like fan thing? Like he said something in an interview that literally like changed my perspective on everything, of like, you know, turning away on like the people that got you to where you are. You know, there's this whole idea now of like artists kind of like, you know, really take care of your fan base because they're the only reason you are where you are. And like the moment you turn away from them for a second because there's something better, like that hurts. And like he has that kind of saying with like staring at someone at a party. It's like when you're talking to someone at a party and then they can see you're looking at someone else already, like trying to go talk to someone else. I forget how he said it, but it was such a good analogy of like, yeah, like I think we're realizing too as artists, like our fans that like got us here are like so important, and the support that we're feeling with this new era is like, we can't take that for granted, because they feel that stuff the moment they feel like they'll go find another favorite band. Like that's what Jack always says, like people will find their other favorite artists if you turn on them or turn their back on them, or it's yeah, he's so like forward thinking, I think, with his fan base too, because Bleachers fans are so like hardcore, and there's such a community around that band. And yeah, the bars are crazy. He's got quotes for days.
This is someone who thinks about music a lot. Pretty
he
clearly.
does. He really does.
I mean, when you get to work with so many incredible artists like he does, like imagine like the amount of like rich conversations that you would have with so many incredible people.
He's so inspiring.
Yeah.
And I've said it before, I think last time we were talking, Rob, you and I, and I'll say it again, like I think the relationship that Valley has with Valpals, you know, the fan base, is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it feels like they are never far from your mind, and not in a way of like, we know exactly what you want, we're only going to give you that, because I think you do a really great job of like challenging them musically.
Yeah.
You're not turning away, but it really feels like with this next song coming out tonight, you're taking them to a slightly new place.
Yeah.
But you're always thinking of them. And even when I think of like the Discord,
of course,
that's such a cool spot to be to. If anyone's not there, we should drop a link in the chat. But maybe you
The
can tell us
Discord
a little
is
bit about the Discord.
that is Kara's world. I'm scared to be in it.
I love it.
I keep telling him, like, you gotta get in the Discord. Like,
no,
it seems scarier than it is
for me.
No, it's not.
I don't know if the fans
it's
know
so
that I'm in there.
entertaining. Like I wake up and like
I should be in there.
it's my morning newspaper. Like
Love
I
that.
just scroll
I get scared. I'll get like too
and, like,
addicted to being on
people
it.
say the
It's like a big group
funniest
chat.
things. No, it's like it's got
It's a
group
big
chat.
group chat.
It's got group chat energy. Like there's a very specific vibe in there, but I just think it's hilarious. Like the thing, and also like I like seeing what people's speculations on like what what's happening. Everyone will start to know as we reveal more, but it's just like it's funny and entertaining.
Without saying what it is, are there any speculations in there that you're like, oh shit, they're right, they just don't know it yet?
Oh, they're
right about a few
literally
big
right about
things.
everything.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
mean, like-
scary. And I'm like, there was a couple things where I was like,
Yeah.
no, you got that wrong. But
They got Chase immediately though.
no, they
Crazy.
literally
Like, we
they
didn't-
saw like a strand of his little curly hair, and they call him Noodlehead. I don't know if he knows that.
I was gonna say
Also-
that's the next step. Get
Yeah.
Chase in there.
I know. I
Our
don't know
fans
if
are
I
smart.
don't know if he knows the things that they call him, but
I'm sure he's seen a few.
he's so loved in the chat. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
nothing.
Oh,
there,
yeah.
but they saw like a strand of his hair in like a photo, and they were like,
Chase.
Chase.
They're like,
And I'm
they're
like,
working with
how?
Chase.
It's a noodle.
They thought we were doing
the
a
Discord is the
coin.
hiring
They
room
thought we
for
were doing a
the
coin.
FBI like investigative services.
I know.
No, literally, like
Yeah,
you
CIA
want
and
a
FBI,
sleuth,
like-
you drop it in the Discord, and
Yeah.
they will
Crazy.
decode that.
I love
for
it.
you.
I love that.
Back to it though, our fans are very smart. They're very
They're
intelligent, and they're very like musically intelligent. And
Yeah.
I think that that's super special to have in your fan base. You
Yeah.
know,
And
Have you guys ever dropped like stems in the Discord? I feel like they'd eat that up.
No,
there
but
should be a
that's a
Valley
good idea.
remix challenge.
Yeah, I might. Are there any? If anyone's watching us on
No.
Discord, are there any producers in the Discord? Because I'd love to drop some stems, go make stuff. I want to
It's-
hear
yeah.
what
Yeah,
everyone
I
makes.
don't even know. Like, I want to
giving
know
me
what
ideas
everybody
now.
does
Yeah,
in the
hey.
Discord.
Remix contest.
I need
Yeah.
to know everybody's hobbies,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
in the Discord. Like, who are we?
Because I feel like your classic Valley fan archetype is cool as hell. You
Aw.
know, like
They're
I agree.
So,
Yeah.
They're creative.
when I pull up to a show, I'm like,
cool.
oh, these are good
Yeah.
people, and
They're
also
very
shout out the
sweet.
bananas.
Smart.
Yeah.
They're very
Shout out to
sweet.
bananas.
Bananas, other
That's-
types of
Oh yeah, Kim and
fruit,
Katie.
Love it.
just fruity.
Going back to in the studio, I wanted to ask because again, last time we were chatting, it was just me and you, Rob. Now that I have all three of you here, and maybe you can answer even for each other, but in the studio, what's like a superpower that each of you bring? You know, like that kind of like unique thing that you bring to the table that like helps you crack the code. I'm sure it's different in every song, but I'd
guess
be
we'll
interested.
answer for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be best. Okay, I'll go first.
You
Alex.
answer for you, and you answer for you, and
Okay.
I'll answer for.
Alex. I'll do Alex first. Alex has a lot of good qualities in the studio. I think, I mean, this is something that Chase also really highlighted while making this record, which I never realized. Alex is very good at seeing the process from bigger picture. I find I'm more zoomed in on like the exact thing we're making or the verse we're working on. Alex has a very good brain about the entire, you know, if we're making a project or a lot of songs or whatever, he has a very good bird's eye of the whole sonic quality of things and why things go here. And you're really tuned with like track list. You're very tuned with like how things feel, how the world I think views what we make more than like I think me and Kara do. And that's a really big superpower for me to have you as like a compass on that.
Thank you.
And I think you have an innate gift of melody. I think Alex has a very like strong sense of melody in the sense that he knows like why a good melody arc and like why something is gonna react. I think in like the soul in a really good way. I think you have a really good.
Yo, you're sick.
Yeah, he's good.
I'll tell you why Kara's sick. I think Kara has a well, one thing that you do that you never fail to do is go. Hot take. I have this crazy idea. Literally.
I scare myself.
And they often work.
But they no. But what I was gonna say is,
so
oftentimes it's like, it's the most special moment in the song, and it completely like alters the way that you hear or see the song, and it's a whole new emotion added or taken away or like refined, and like I think that is a crazy good superpower.
Yeah.
And it keeps you on your toes.
What's the Kara moment of all time, like in the discography?
Oh, one of the Kara moments. There's a lot. Well, there's one this morning, but I can't talk about it. What's No,
you just have them. You don't even realize.
There was one this morning. What's a big
I'm trying to remember.
one?
I remember sitting beside you on the couch.
I know.
Never mind.
I was thinking more.
That was
I
a big
think,
one.
I think it's. You're very nice to say that I'm like doing that, but I think it's more of like a butting heads with somebody until they agree with
Not
me.
always though. Not always. I think yes.
Superpower or thorn?
I think it causes it. I think it causes that sometimes, but oftentimes it's like a whole new perspective on a part or adding a whole new thing that
There's
you never
ones,
thought.
but we can't talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Well, what I was about to say was one in a song.
What song?
What song?
No, I can't.
Oh, you
Say
can't
in
say the
code.
song.
I just remember sitting beside you where we were, and you were on the long part of the couch, and I was there, and I can't say.
Oh,
but
then...
Say it in.
The Discords are gonna figure it out right away. I feel like you gotta just gas up Rob
I
now.
don't know. I'm trying to.
Hum it.
I can't hum it.
Okay,
there was. I'll tell you later, and then maybe part 2.
Okay, we'll come back
reveal.
after whatever is, come into focus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that.
Rob's
the final superpower.
That's my superpower.
Rob is
I
just an
shoot
incredible
webs.
writer.
Thank you.
Rob is just
That's very
Rob
sweet.
is just the songwriter. You know, he's the
Thank you.
he's the I remember hearing, like, I mean, just undeniably, just a truly world-class writer.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Don't let it go to your head.
No, that's very sweet.
I will for her.
Hey, it's not just me. It's
He
these
has.
two.
I find in the studio, we'll just get right into it. I find that you shut yourself off though from like you almost think you're not that, like you don't naturally come into that when there's other people in the room, and it's
I'm
like
a very shy writer.
you have to like
very shy.
It's just something, like it's like you have the ability, but I find that like, I don't know, maybe you just feel like, oh, I shouldn't speak, but then when you're by yourself, these like absolute world-class lyrics and melodies come
kind.
and it's just like I don't know if it's like the perfect environment for a writer like Rob, to be honest, like in a room full of people and full of ideas. Like I think he's the type of person where his superpower does come from isolation,
being alone.
and being alone.
I can definitely agree with that.
But that's probably
or with
why
people I really trust. I think that's why what we're working on right now.
I was gonna
it's
say,
like,
exactly.
It's us and Chase, and it's very insular, and like there's no like none of that. Like I think we spent a lot of our career writing with a bunch of strangers, you know, which is great, but
it's different
when people understand you. So, but thank you. That's very sweet.
People have a group chat dissecting you.
Yeah.
When people are like dialed in.
These people are crazy.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you guys right now, like this week, what's inspiring you? What are you listening to, watching, thinking about? Like, what's just sitting here for you right now?
One word, mk.gee.
Yeah, honestly.
mk.gee is really doing something crazy.
Are you going to the show?
I'm trying to find tickets or messaging our agent.
Trying to find a way to get into the show.
Right, yeah, I've been listening to a lot of mk.gee. We all have been listening to a lot of mk.gee. We've been on the mk.gee train for a minute. I remember Kara showing us mk.gee a while ago, and honestly, we fell in love with like one song. We would listen to one song on repeat. Do you remember what the song was? If He, yeah. Oh, yeah. We were obsessed with that song. And then, like, we just kind of forgot about mk.gee for a while, and then, like, he came back with just, like, the craziest album
Star and the Dream Police,
It's just insane. So, listening to a lot of that.
There's another artist that we've been listening to quite a bit.
Who?
No, just making
3, 2, 1. Chappell Roan. We love Chappell.
It's funny. No,
Chappell's so good.
We were just doing a show in Florida. And I was just making fun of Kara because
He got mad at me.
No, I didn't get mad at you.
He yucked my yum.
I did not yuck your yum. I love Chappell.
You did yuck my yum.
We have played Good Luck Babe on repeat. I just think
it's hard for me to like an artist. Like, I'm really not, like, I don't find myself like I'm not a super music listener, you know? Like, I like creating music, but I wouldn't say I'm like right into like, you know, playlists and stuff and Spotify, but like, but like I really
you don't discover often.
No, when I really have to hear a song in the right context, you know, like to love it. And like I had heard Good Luck Babe and I was like, yeah, it's a good song. And then my friend put it on the car and we were just like driving. And I was like, I get it now. And now I understand. And I really do think there's something to be said about it's like
environment.
Yeah, it's like. And this is a thing that we've been talking about a lot with, you know, within the band and on like with our team is just like, where is the first time that you're gonna listen to our song? You know what I mean? And I think like obviously you have to adapt and change with the music industry, and right now it's a lot of TikTok teasing the audio and stuff, which is working for a ton of people, and like there's no denying that is a great way to promote your music.
And you guys have had success there too.
We had success there, but I think for this specific new era of music, like it's such a personal, they're such personal songs, and like we just like have this like precious attachment, I guess, to like the first time that somebody's gonna hear that song in full. And I don't want to take that away from somebody, because I wouldn't have wanted someone to take that away from me. And it's funny because going back to the Discord, like when we played a show in Florida on the weekend, and there was a couple people that filmed the song because we would play the new song, and in the Discord, like they didn't want to hear it. They were like, we don't want to see it, we don't want to know,
cool, honestly.
We don't send the video in here. So then that fan sent it to each other, like to other fans, like personally. I think there's something so special about that, because you forget, I've personally taken for granted hearing a song for the first time. Like I'm so glad I didn't hear Good Luck Babe teased on TikTok. Like I heard it in full for the first time in the right environment, and that changed everything for me. Right now I'm obsessed with Chappell Roan.
Because like, you got that right experience. What is the right experience? You know,
this song is
it's a vulnerable, it's anything, anywhere, tangible, doesn't matter. It's where you are in your brain in that moment. And like I think it just, like, my friend was telling me a story about how that song is like exactly the situation that she's going through, and like I felt for her. I was like, oh, that sucks so hard. And she's like, yeah, just listen to the lyrics in the song. And I think that's what connected it for me. So it's just like it's a place where you're open to hearing what that song means. And I also think it can't be done with a song that's not a genuine song to begin with, you know. Like, you know that Chappell wrote those songs like from such a genuine place, and I think that's the difference, you know.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to channel, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To clarify, I also am obsessed with Chappell. I was just chirping Kara because it was every second phrase out of her.
Hey, I feel like that's half the world right now.
I do this. I do the same thing,
When you
man.
find your favorite artist.
You do the same thing for Apple products, and that is Snickers.
I know, it's a little Kool-Aid of me, but we chirp each other in a very fun and playful way.
It's like the McGee boyfriend, Chappell Roan girlfriend meme.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like that's where we're at right
That's
now.
it. That's totally where we're at.
And I'm both, for the record.
Absolutely, yeah.
So with When You Know Someone dropping tonight at midnight, for anyone listening who's going to have that first experience of pressing play on the song for the first time, you know, what's the best setting to do it in?
Honestly,
Inside,
go for a
outside.
drive, nighttime preferred, or just put on headphones. It's a nighttime song. Put on headphones.
Stay up till midnight.
Go for a drive. If you don't have your license, don't go for a drive.
Go for a walk
Ask
in a
someone
safe
that
place.
does have a license to take you for a drive.
Or just get an Uber.
Get an Uber.
Take it around the
Your
block.
Uber drivers, what are you listening to there? Just your
in headphones.
Hey, Uber driver, can you go to Spotify?
Imagine
and
calling an Uber just to listen to a 3-minute song.
Crazy. Just like get in, get out.
Set the location to 3. But yeah, anything like that. Lay in your bed and listen to it with headphones. It's definitely a pretty, you know, it feels upbeat, but it's
Look at
pretty
photos of
sad.
your
Yeah, I don't know. Do
Scroll
whatever.
through your camera
The
roll.
old
Yeah,
sad
scroll
scroll.
through a camera roll is a good one. That'd be fun.
I think an important thing is where are you going to listen to it the second, third, and fourth time?
Yeah.
You know, the first time you're going to like hear it and like maybe process it, but the next few times,
Where's it going to sink in?
yeah, where's it going to sink in?
I guess that's for the universe
That's true.
to tell you, I guess.
Music, man, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, I've got to ask, just for the Val Pals watching, and if you can't say too much, that's cool, but what else can they expect this year? What's coming? Because it feels like you guys are in an incredible place as a band for the music that you're making. We didn't even get to talk about the visuals, but the Instagram looks insane
thanks,
now.
Man.
Like,
Thank you.
Yeah, we're trying to
hey.
kind of lean into what we're just kind of like how we started. Like when we started a band, we were you know, we were obviously more aesthetically leaning, and we were obsessed with world building, we were obsessed with environment building, we were obsessed with this idea that, you know, we're going to come out with an album, there's going to be a color palette, there's going to be, you know, things are going to feel a certain way, things are going to look a certain way. You know, when you look at things in everyday life, it will remind you of like kind of the era we've built, and that's super important to us. I think we lost a little bit of that when we were just trying to, you know, turning over different stones as a band, as you do. You know, my favorite bands, our favorite bands have, you know, turned over many stones and tried a million different things, so we're thankful. But I think we're just going back to this like root that started the band, which is just like, you know, build an environment, build an era that feels special and unique and has imagery and symbolism, you know, kind of create. Chase always says this, like, put out the music the same way you made it, which is with passion, love, and like an artistic eye, and like most importantly just like love. Like, you have to put it out the same way, or else, you know, what's the point? You put so much time into making music, and then what, you're just gonna like not care
Flop
about
across the
way,
finish line.
not care about like how the
Yeah.
way you put it out. It's like, when you think about that, it's crazy. Like, you have to kind of make sure it's all aligned with the world that you want people to live in. So thank you so much. We're trying to kind of build it out that way, and you know, just make it feel like one kind of heartbeat. So in terms of expectations for this year, I mean, we're going to tour for sure. We're working on a bunch of new music. We've made many songs. We've been working with Chase and a few really close collaborators, and yeah, I mean, that's all we can really say right now, but we're working on a lot of stuff.
It'll be a good year.
We'll save it for another day.
We'll save it for another day.
Before we wrap, I got to read some comments from the chat.
Cool.
Kim saying, can't wait to see what this year has in store for you guys. So proud. A little crying happy emoji.
Thanks, Kim.
Valley always puts out consistently good music. Someone's asking, what's a part of this track that you're most proud of? Like maybe a little detail that someone might not notice.
Most proud of the for me, the vocals, all the vocals are the demo vocal, and I've sent it around to a few people, and they've all been very like, man, your vocal performance is very like raw and captivating. I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, it's actually the demo. And something we've learned actually as a band, as we produce music, is like, you will never beat the day one. Like you will rarely beat the day one.
That feeling, right?
Yeah, like the day one is the day one. You are feeling the emotion, you're feeling the lyric, you are on the verge of tears. Like you cannot, there's no superpower to get that feeling back. So a lot of the music we're making lately is us just dissecting those day one elements and being like, well, this is the root of the thing. Like you just have to kind of grow and water around it. So that's been a big thing for us. So I think that's something that I think people would like to know. It's like the day one, like it has noise, that there's people talking in the background of the vocal take. It's not clean, but it's like it has a captivating kind of feeling about it. But what else? I mean, the melodica is cool.
I think the lyrics are something that
lyrics are special.
Really am proud of.
Yeah,
they're simple, but for some reason we were able to capture it, the intent of what we were feeling with very, very few words. Few words.
That's an art. I feel like there was a while where like really complex, specific lyrics was kind of all that was happening. And I feel like the pendulum's kind of swinging back, where people are realizing like, oh my God, you can say a few words and paint just like the perfect picture. That's an art in itself. You don't have to like go super crazy to.
Totally.
Those are the best songs of all time. Like our favorite songs of all time are like, I want to be with you everywhere. Like what a simple sentiment, but like means the world. Like, you know what I mean? Like that takes me back to like my, like every, like, I don't know, that pours nostalgia over me. And it's like, I want to be with you everywhere. Like it's so simple yet so complex. And that's what we're obsessed with. It's like, if someone can hear when you know someone, you really know someone, and that takes them somewhere with such a simple line, then like that's really powerful. And then you get to decorate it with verses and kind of giving your context and story, and that's where you can kind of give people that real diary page. But yeah, these lyrics are special for sure. We did say a lot with maybe not so much.
One more question in the chat that's popping up. Kim saying, love the callbacks that you do on other songs in any of the new music that you're working on right now. Are you keeping the callbacks up? Is that some? Oh, I see some nods.
Yeah.
I think there are callbacks.
Melody callbacks?
Oh, melody callbacks, yeah. Sonically, too. We have a theme.
There's definitely some lyrical callbacks.
Yeah.
Okay, there'll be a lot to unpack in the Discord then.
Yeah, there's we always put little Easter eggs, and there's a lot in a certain specific song that I'm thinking of.
Which song?
We cannot say.
If anyone can read lips.
Oh yeah. Oh, guys.
So hard to keep these things in.
I know. Trust me, there's a song that everybody's gonna be like, what?
There's a lot.
It's going to be a good year to be a Valpal. Guys, thank you so much for joining me, for making the time. On behalf of everyone in the chat,
thank you so
appreciate
much.
it.
You're always so well spoken and so
Yeah.
great questions. So great to talk to.
Oh yeah, you're my favorite to kick it with, guys. So thanks so much. Maybe come back at another point in time, and I think we're gonna play a snippet of this new track. So this is a little taste of When You Know Someone out at midnight.